mix.
Here's a jump ball for everybody, okay? What's the one thing that has to happen for people to truly believe that the Denver Broncos are a Super Bowl contending team? What one thing will turn people's heads right now? Because there's still a lot of doubters out there.
A big offensive game where the offense accounts for, say, 38 points. Honestly, I think that's what's holding the perception of this team back, locally and nationally. Frankly, is that and you look at the numbers as well. The offense is still in the bottom 5 or 6 teams in most offensive metrics.
See, Andrew, I think even if they put up 38 points, even if they run the ball well, even if the offensive line does a good job protecting Peyton and Peyton doesn't turn the ball over, it's only going to be one game. And I think there's still going to be people out there, as soon as Peyton throws that next interception, you're going to hear the hue and cry.
Here's what I think. One game's going to get it on the right track.
But here's what I think needs to happen. I'm going to go a different route here. I think they need to beat New England on November 29th. And if they beat New England on November 29th, then people say, okay, the Broncos are there.
I think it's before that. I think the Green Bay game on November 1st, if they do that, that's going to have the same kind of effect.
Well, the reason I picked New England is because it's the AFC.
Right.
And that's the team they would likely play in the AFC Championship.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'll say this, a defensive-oriented team like this one, that's the kind of team that has gone into New England in January over the last several years and won. The Ravens have won in Foxborough twice. Yeah. The Jets, in Rex Ryan's second year, went in and beat the Patriots. And when I look at this defense, the way it's playing and the way it's forcing turnovers, particularly late in games. I mean, this is 4 games in a row that they've had a takeaway in the last half of the fourth quarter that either sealed or won the game outright, like in Kansas City.
People are loath to talk about this, but the same thing that gets Peyton off his game gets Tom Brady off his game.
And that's what the Ravens and Jets did back a few years ago when they went to Foxborough. Yeah. That's the equation.
And coming from the same direction, I've been told by opposing defensive linemen, if you can get the bull rush up the middle, then they have no room to maneuver because neither Tom Brady, Josh, when he was here, said, we never asked Tom Brady to run or to try and fight out of a sack. We don't want to lose him. So we don't even ask him. We don't set up plays where he scrambles or anything like that. And as I said, I've been told, if you can, from the outside, you can't get there in the pistol. You can't get there in time before he gets the ball away. From the inside, they got nowhere to go. They can't go left or right. They can't step up in the pocket. I thought Andrew was kind of going in the direction. I thought you were talking about one game, one thing that they could do, like running game or something.
Yeah.
I agree. It's Green Bay Packers. They're going to beat the Patriots here. That defense is strong enough to win in New England. It's strong enough to win here. And Peyton Manning is 2-0 in his last 2 playoff games against them. So I think what has to happen, and I agree with Peter King. Are we talking about this later? Forgive me, I didn't say it.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it now. That's fine.
Peter King said, and we will address it later again. Peter King said he picked them number 3 behind the Packers and Patriots.
In this week's power rankings.
Yes.
Yeah. Fine 15 fine or fine 15. And I have great respect for him, and I believe what he says. He said, the defense is number 1 in the league. He believes that Peyton's going to get into a rhythm with his passes. To me, that's the one thing. Not beating a team, but getting into rhythm. And I would combine that with Demaryius Thomas. Don't be dropping balls all the time. We saw this out of Demaryius last year. You're paying him $70 million. He's got to catch that ball in the end zone.
Detroit might have been a different game, might have been a blowout if he doesn't have the drops. And then
he dropped 4 balls.
When he had the fumble when he was trying to get the ball
that
across
game
the line
doesn't come down to it. That's a catchable ball in the end zone. That was not being tipped away in the end zone on Sunday. That was a ball that was here. You're supposed to, a $70 million guy, you're supposed to make that catch. That's the catch. Calvin Johnson, you don't fumble the ball. There's a reason the world is paying you that much money, is because you make big catches, you catch the ball. Emmanuel Sanders. I think, but I also think, and I said to him yesterday, and I ask you, I think you go to more of the West Coast offense. You throw more to the backs. Get them involved. You throw to the tight end. You don't throw to the tight end on 4th down. You throw to him 4 or 5 times. You throw to C.J. Anderson, who had that big run against the Raiders last year in Oakland.
And also he had that catch and run against Oakland, and to open the game Sunday, he has that 27-yard catch and run coming out of the backfield.
Which,
that play
if
works.
Peyton throws a little bit better, it's a touchdown.
Back to Peter King.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. He said he believes that Peyton's going to get into a rhythm. And we're, again, talking about his mind. We all know, and he knows about his arm, that the way you get into rhythm is like you do with a wide receiver early in, or a young quarterback early in the game, easy passes. Get him into a confident mode.